I think I'll attempt to do it like this. I'll try to channel the ethereal into talking through me instead of in writing. I'll see what I can come up with. My first point is to thank you for coming here. It's a pleasure to have you here. And even though the communication has been a little difficult, it's still a pleasure to have you here. And their first reply is, fine, it's a pleasure to be here. My first comment is, could you describe your society and culture in some way? And their reply is, it's a pleasure. My culture is similar to yours, though we are much more anarchistic in our nature. And our society prefers light clothing, something that I've noted that people find interesting. We mostly like very mineral-rich or crystal-like planets. We are physically weaker than you in some regards. We have the ability to move objects with our mind, so the problem is that we don't use our bodies as much as you do, and we don't die in falls as often as you do, so our bodies hasn't evolved to become sturdy in the way that yours has. And I would perhaps describe us as an anarchistic monarchy. My next comment is, you seem very large. It's difficult to balance myself through you, and it seems to take a great deal of effort. Could you describe the size of your society and your interest in humanity? Their next reply is, yes, we can. You are correct. We are much larger than you, and our society is space-based in the space around you in a much larger way than you are, comparing our radio wave bubbles at least. Our interest in humanity is mostly culinary. You are a delightful treat to be around for a species that parasites itself off energy as you parasite itself off meat, though we also consume meat, just as some of you also consume energy. We are mostly not looking forward to a contact with your species any more than you would look forward to a contact with possibly cow species after you've eaten them for several generations. My next question is, could you describe your military strength and what you feel as humanity being a threat towards you? And their answer is, our military budget is, roughly speaking, in your dollars, something like 3,500 trillion, and our interest in you in the terms of military threat is mostly that you have a very good future expansion. You won't be a threat to us for probably several hundred of your years, but you will eventually become powerful enough if something doesn't happen. We are interested in hybridizing your species with our own, but just as with any natural animal crop, we would prefer some of you to remain completely free, and your society is so interconnected that taking some of you out and breeding with them is only possible, and taking all of you out would be exceptionally difficult. It would pollute our food source. Can you describe how long you live and how your health is? Certainly these questions are a little, perhaps personal, but I will answer them. Our health is similar to yours. We live for something on the order of 300 to a couple of thousand years. Some of us live much longer than that, but we mostly expire due to lack of interest in maintaining our body. So for us old age isn't the same as for you. So our health is fairly good, but as we have said, our genetic lack of diversity and the fact that we remained on our homeworld for a very long time has negatively affected our physique, and we aren't able to maintain it as well as we'd want to. And if I may add, we are not interested in a trade or diplomatic relation with you because you have no one set of you that you are talking through. You would parasite us or contaminate us through your being. So we can't really associate with you on a single government basis as you have none. The post-contact protocols that your United Nations has are somewhat interesting, but as they are the best source of government-level contact with aliens, and even they aren't complete, you remind us of the homeworld of the school kid who never got it together. So from our point of view, it isn't really interesting, as we would be from your point of view a very old and very bearded race. Some among us would prefer us not to use the term eat off of you, but our government considers it to be eating, even though we are simply parasiting off of you. It would be similar to saying that your solar panels eat the sun, which is technically perhaps not accurate, as they are not necessarily built in an orb around the sun, but our government believes that the evolution towards the Dyson sphere or Dyson swarm around our sun is natural evolution for our species and will result in a situation where we will literally parasite off the sun. So we are considering our energy exchange with you to be parasitism and thus hostility, and we are acting accordingly regardless of the situation, perhaps being not hostile to you. You perhaps do not have the ability to perceive the damage we do to you. I would like to add, since I am also observing the questions automatically, that your interest in what can be termed space technology is perhaps the best defense against us. Your ability to measure things entering your electromagnetic field will be of most value, as you will start to notice that individual high-energy particles are like UFOs passing through your planet, and when they impact people, they have strange experiences which may not be healthy for them, as they knock certain particles out of your system. And from the channel, I can feel being exhausted while I'm talking with this person. Their aura is very heavy and breathing is very difficult. Yes, our homeworld's gravity and atmosphere is significantly higher than yours, so is our electromagnetic field, which explains our much heightened psychic abilities. Eternal life is what waits one of you that marries one of us, but it would be from us like marrying a dog. It's not that other people look at you, it's that other people look at you hungrily. It's a very strange sensation. And as we can already share telepathic emotions, we are using a communication form which doesn't explicitly point that out every time we do so. This channel is a very annoying person because he deliberately and insistently defends his planet from aliens, and successfully too. He is a very insistently annoying person. Suck on you! Make it Bundem. Anyway, as a channel, I would like to point out a few things. I imagine Finland as a Star Trek Enterprise type ship with two prongs sticking out of its back, with the rest of the landscape near us being lowered and lower than ourselves because all the countries have a exterior view towards the region that is our border, except for Estonia, which is directly at our border with its capital, and I imagine it as being the docking chute from through which we get to the main part of the planet, which is from Moscow to everybody and everywhere else. So it's like a cup, and if you imagine a golden base, and where the pommel in the middle would be is where the ship is, and it's kind of like covered by the pommel, so it isn't like sticking out, but it's there, and there are 4 colored sapphires from the Lands of Lore series on it, and the rest is like a golden top, so that's what I imagine Finland to be, and as it reaches the top, the color loses its brilliance and it looks like it's fading out, but it looks like the edges are on flames, and that's the electricity we produce. And every system is like part of a starship, and everything is like a different control on a starship. That's what I imagine. It's very efficient. Bored! It's Borgian. Borgian. Do I have any more questions for the ethereal? Is there anything more you'd like to talk about or tell us? Only that peace and a symbiotic life with your species isn't out of the question, but it would require some adaptation from both of us and especially from us. We don't see ourselves as likely wanting to join something resembling the Federation from your Star Trek series, which is what we believe you will be forming in the future. We will likely migrate out of the region. But at least you can consider yourself graduating to an adult species. As a channel, that answer makes me so sad. I can see from my watching of Norse Map that a lot of other people also feel sad about it. We imagine you living in something resembling a dream in the very near future due to your technology advancing, and you will simply not care about our type of species. You will live in an existential dream that you perhaps would consider paradise. We estimate that your civilization will live in such a state in quotes very soon. Everyone on the planet doing nothing but playing childishly, with perhaps a few sentient observers. Your species will resemble a primordial goo, but its polarity will be opposite to what it was when it started. It will be perhaps the first, it will be, as a channel, I have to say I'm feeling very strongly that it's not actually meaning for sure, but I will say for sure, the first biological goo to reach the other end of the polarity scale. It will be nothing but a fusion-like goo that will consist of organic matter that seeks to cool itself but not warm itself and generate more energy the cooler it becomes. This is something that has yet to be completely understood by your science, but an organism gains more energy in the colder environment than it does in the warmer environment from the sun. This is something your science has not yet completely understood. So that's how I got the long haul civil plane. I'm watching my gameplay of Masters. I would like to point out that your attempts to militarize and slowly gain awareness of your surroundings and build green energy through the military is probably your best attempt at maintaining contact with us. Interesting choice of words. mash me. I asked about the other species that they know, and they answered, "You are correct in assuming that the Grey civilization is the civilization we would call the imps, and the lizard civilization that you have yet to channel and tell to these people about is the one we would call the actual lizards from your previous history. But as we have said before, peace is a possibility. The Greys have become a respectable species due to their interaction with your children and your interaction with your children. They have gained an emotional footing, which was not common to a species of robots." I can see Mecha liking my opinion. Hat off to you. Israel responded for Mecha. And then Riyadh confirmed that Israel responded, and then Egypt and Riyadh confirmed at the same time. No, sorry, not Riyadh. Jeddah. Star Trek really helped me with that one, which reminds me I need to watch the nuking of the Jeddah skin again. Star Wars. Jeddah. Because I just want to see this one again. Destruction, it tickles my fancy bone, is what the channel and the ethereal say 50-50. Now I see what the Empire is trying to accomplish. Thank you, sir. Now I see what they're going for. Now I see. That was a good one. A good one. A good one. Then one firefight. That's a big hole from a sidearm. A 75 caliber with explosive rounds. Nice. As a side weapon. Primary is still probably the anti-tank missile. With probably a nuclear warhead. Nerokas äijä. Seems calm. They seem interested in me continuing the ethereal channeling. How to start your own country. Have money. Buy soil. Go through process. I think I'll continue this interview for one more clip. Yes, I'll continue for another clip. It's too short now. I think there's still a few things I want to ask.